Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland, and you are very welcome to my Daffodil Fest. Daffodils are among the most beautiful and most reliable of garden plants, and today I'm going to pot up no fewer than 6 different varieties from 5 different divisions. I'm going to talk about how to pot them, how to grow them, how to plant them in the ground, and also the specific advantages that certain divisions have over others. So let's get on with the video. Daffodils are one of the earliest flowers in the garden, and the blooms are quite exquisite. They come in shades of yellow and white, and the corona or trumpet on each bloom can have shades of orange, red, green, and sometimes pink in there. Some daffodils are scented, and most make excellent cut flowers. They're also really hardy, and of the 13 divisions, I think only division 8, which is the Douentza type, aren't completely hardy. A wonderful plant that I grow, and today what I'm going to do is to pot some daffodils in pots for the greenhouse so that I can really appreciate those intricate flowers when they open. You are very welcome to this video, and for returning subscribers, well, you know the drill by now. We're in the new greenhouse, and this is where I do a lot of seed sowing and propagating. And I have the wheelbarrow here today full of a mix that I'm going to use to pot up my daffodils. And if you're not a returning subscriber, then welcome. Now, I've already opened some of these daffodils, but we are going to start off with Jetfire, which is a daffodil from the Cyclaminius group. It's called the Cyclaminius group because the flowers very often look like cyclamen. That is, they have kind of swept back, reflexed petals. And this is an excellent daffodil, great for naturalizing in grass, and it takes cooler temperatures than some of the others might. Now, I have a couple here that I am going to put into a pot. My mix today is a mixture of compost and free draining medium. Now, daffodils like moisture, and they like a well-drained mix, which might seem like a contradiction in terms, but all it means is that you have to add something into your compost that will help it drain more freely, like horticultural sand or grit or perlite. I suppose the ratio might be 3 to 1. I'm using a small pot today for my daffodil and placing a little bit of the mixture at the base. Now, normally you need to bury daffodils twice their depth. This is a gorgeous daffodil, a small fellow, so he only gets to 25 to 35 centimeters tall. That's 10 to 14 inches. But its appearance, oh my goodness, it has a fantastic orange-red trumpet, and it's backed by swept back golden yellow petals. A just fantastic daffodil for planting in a border because it has smaller leaves. It means it's easier to place in a border. I find that very often some of the bigger daffodils, they can swamp surrounding perennials because you can't cut daffodil leaves back until they've faded completely, and the other perennials just want to get going and the daffodils kind of block them out. You may notice that I've cheated a little and already potted up 2 big pots of Jetfire. My next daffodil is from the Jonquilla division, that's division 7, and this is a fantastic little one called Pipit. Now, the thing I really love about the Jonquilla division is that many of the daffodils are scented, and this one is scented, and I absolutely want to have this daffodil flowering in my greenhouse so that I can enjoy that scent. For the jonquilla division, they like the soil a little bit drier than others. They prefer it slightly more alkaline and they like full sun. But we're talking minute differences here in how you treat your daffodils. And I don't want this to worry you and prevent you from actually growing this daffodil. In fact, what I'm going to do is just pot it up in the same mix that I have potted the others. Now this one is gloriously two-toned with a very pale baby yellow and white, and it really is a special one. Now the thing that drew me to Pipit, besides its beautiful flowers, which really are quite special, was the fact that this is a daffodil that has multiple blooms per stem. So besides the two-toned contrast and the fragrance, we can actually have a whole host of flowers on the one stem with this particular daffodil. And it's a small daffodil too, only reaching 25 to 30 centimetres, so the same height as the last one, the cyclamen-like one that we looked at a moment ago. And it flowers in March and April. The cups of each flower turn ivory white as the flowers mature, which sounds very poetic and very nice. Division 7, the jonquilla division, is a great one to look out for because it produces plants with 1 to 5 flowers on each stem. Oh, that one doesn't look good. I think I'm just going to discard it. It's a bit soft. Now we move on to one of my favourite divisions of all, and this is Division 4. And it has double daffodils in it. Absolutely love double flowers, and daffodils are no exception. Now I cheated a little bit earlier because I already potted up 7 of each of these types in a large pot for outside display, but the remaining 3 I'm going to pot now in these pots and enjoy them in the greenhouse. So these are going to be tall daffodils, and this first one is called Obdan. Now it's a white or cream daffodil that certainly fades to cream as the bloom ages, and there is yellow in the split corona, the split center of the flower, trumpet of the flower. So it sounds really quite gorgeous, and we have some very nice bulbs here which I will enjoy in a pot and in a big outdoor pot as well. And the other one I have is Replete. Now this one sounds so poetic. The description talks about the center of the flower, analogizing it to a vanilla ripple ice cream with swirls of pink and orange in there. And can you imagine a gorgeous creamy white double flower with all of that going in the center? It's going to be absolutely amazing. Again, I've potted up 7 of these separately in a big pot, but the remaining 3 are going to go now into one of these smaller pots so that we can have a proper good look at those flowers in the greenhouse, where we don't have to worry about the weather kind of damaging them. And this happens sometimes with daffodils that are outdoors, perfectly hardy, but the weather can spoil the flowers sometimes. And this is Obdan. Very much a bigger daffodil than the previous one. So I'm cheating slightly here. I'm not actually burying them to twice their depth because the pot isn't quite big enough, but I think we'll get away with it. In terms of daffodil depth, they say that 2 times the bulb's depth is sufficient and that they're quite unfussy. However, if you have lighter soil or if you're planting in grass, then you should plant them deeper. And in this pot we have 3 bulbs from Sabine Hay, which is a wonderful daffodil from Division 3. So quite a tall daffodil, 45 centimetres, makes a good cut flower. But oh my goodness, this small cupped variety, so Division 4 is the small cupped daffodil, and it has orange in the center and amber, and it just looks so neat. Very, very neat shape to the flowers and just so alluring. So imagine a tall daffodil in here with those gorgeous, gorgeous orange flowers. I can't wait. And finally, we have a very, very miniature daffodil. Can you consider that there are 10 bulbs in this packet? Open they go. There we go. This really is a daffodil for the connoisseur. So this is Narcissus bulbocodium, and the cultivar name is Swaro. I have 10 bulbs, and it belongs to Division 10. Now Division 10 is a kind of catch-all division for daffodils that didn't fall into any of the other categories, and it includes wild species, including bulbocodium. It's also known as the hoop petticoat daffodil, and it's a great one to grow in rock gardens. Having said that, I have the plain yellow variety, which I've grown just in the open ground in my garden for many years, and it has come back. I do have well-drained soil, however. Now this delicate and perfect daffodil really is a work of art with its extended trumpets, and this particular variety is white in colour, so not yellow like the one I have in the garden. It's very early flowering in spring, and it's a very short one, reaching only as far as 10 to 15 centimetres, which I think is 4 to 6 inches. A beautiful, beautiful one to grow in a greenhouse. And I think I'm going to have to wrap up the video there because my camera has died again. Time to buy a new camera. Brilliant, isn't it? So just recording this on my phone. I will continue now potting up my bulbocodium daffodils. There they are, and I will give everything a really good water. And with a new camera then in spring, hopefully you can check out how these daffodils do, and yeah, and see how they go. Obviously daffodils should best be planted in September, but September to November is probably a good time. And in terms of other things that I would have liked to mention in this video if it hadn't been cut short, yeah, daffodils, wonderful, wonderful hardy garden plant, great to grow, and I think the bigger ones tend to look better when planted en masse with nothing else to contradict them or to take away from their beauty. Also the leaves are very, very leafy, and that can impede the growth of surrounding perennials. So I would say that the shorter ones, the miniatures, are best for planting in a border. Yeah, okay, so this is me saying goodbye, cameraless, from Ireland. I hope you enjoyed the video, what there was of it, and may your bulbs grow fantastically for you, and may you not have camera problems. Thanks as always for watching, and bye.